I can tell you and our listeners that speaking about property in Mexico, and I would advise anyone, don't rush. Even after you relocate, take your time, live on rent, maybe live in different places before you would really engage in a purchase. Because actually, to sell in Mexico, it's not so easy like in Canada, not so quickly. It's possible, but it's not so quickly. There is more tax implication when you're selling, and there's a lot of new construction, there's a lot of new development in Mexico. It's not last deal. It may be what like local broker telling you that it's the best possible opportunity, but it might be not the case. But speaking about the will, what is good in Mexico comparing with maybe Arizona, so when foreigners are buying property near the seashore or near the border, which sometimes it's the same, it's actually all done through bank trust. And this bank trust, and I know kind of from personal experience, actually include the will. So it's all done through the banking trust. So you will and estate and hers kind of taking in consideration, it's part of the package. But again, I can consult about this particular, questions if more information is needed about property, about how correctly to buy property or even rent property in Mexico. Please connect with me because I have already network of professionals, local professionals in Mexico, and I connected with a legal team in Mexico. And mission for this legal team, it's actually be on guard of foreigners to keep who coming, to live in Mexico, really to help newcomers with real estate questions, with taxation questions, with, business related questions, or maybe even personal security questions sometimes. So don't think that you will save money. You might save money by doing all yourself and just looking on internet information and getting all your information from YouTube, which is good for the beginning. But when you're really considering relocation, I would advise to connect with professionals, to build your financial plan, to have your taxation strategy clear, maybe after them to sell your home or maybe not. And again, every situation is different, but don't do your own when it's such important step in your life, specifically when you're retiring, specifically when you kind of actually risking your life saving if you make some mistakes.
Mhm. Yeah, I couldn't agree with that more. Take your time. And most people are trying to move south for, I find, for two reasons: weather and
Yes,
finances.
yes,
Um, and your finances honestly will go a lot further south in Mexico, for example, than they will in Canada. But the place to try to save finances isn't on introducing yourself to the country and buying real estate. It's on living and quality of life after you do the things correctly, because it's very hard to reverse these things. It's even like I have clients that we just sold a condominium in Panama, and what came back from Panama was surprisingly less than what the condo sold for, because there was taxes they didn't know about and they didn't use a lawyer. They just wanted to do it cheaply, and I think the cheaply often results in more expensive long term. So pay what you need to pay to get good advice, and then save your money later on your lifestyle, which you will do for sure.
absolutely agree with you. So to buy property in new country, it's quite kind of one box of work. To sell it, it's a different kind of issues, and keep your taxation and all financial kind of goals intact. You need really financial advisor, international taxation advisor, and you need to connect with people who have already experience of doing it and who have your kind of well-being, financial well-being and health in mind, in order not to have stress, not to have losses, financial losses, and as well as personal disappointed and mistakes along the way.